Great rising. So some of you may have noticed I was saying good morning the past couple days, whereas today I'm saying great rising. Why is that? Well, before we go forward, I want to give Ashe and praises and Amen home. Amen Ra. I want to give Ashe to the Ascended Masters, to the ancestors of the highest order of benevolence, truth, and righteous, both known and unknown to us. And I want to talk on this topic really quick. And this isn't going to be a long video. I just really wanted to address some things, right? Because it's so common for everyone to get so caught up with Christianity that they judge the Christians for celebrating Christmas, saying it's not a Christian holiday. But then getting into paganism, they too won't celebrate it. But they'll celebrate winter solstice. Why? Do you know what you're celebrating? Do you not know? And from what I'm seeing, I think it's a lot of not knowing, naivety or ignorance, whatever it is for you, right? And everyone is different. So fact check me if you want, but from my understanding and overstanding, winter solstice is when the sun drops down by 1 degree and then it stops moving, and the sun stops moving for a total of 3 days. And what is something that doesn't move? Energy that's not moving is considered dead, because energy is always moving, it's always fluid. Okay, so when the energy or the sun is not moving, this is considered the death period. However, 3 days later, we have the sun moving up again, 1 degree, 2 degrees. It starts moving up again. This is why for 3 days we get 3 short days. And then the days start getting shorter, right? It's like the death period of that sun, which we knew it, until it resurrects again, right? Which is why it's not only in Christianity that you see the resurrection, but in different traditions, even in Kemetic traditions. So many people, you celebrate the new sun, exactly. You celebrate winter solstice, of course. Okay, so that's celebrating the death period, but do you celebrate the resurrection? And this is what these days are. I know I don't call it like Christmas in a sense, but it is. It's about the cross, right? The axles. And the death period and the resurrection of that transformation. Okay, and so I like to celebrate life and death, not just death, because for me, with death comes transformation. And that quote-unquote death period of the sun that takes 3 days is really the sun going through a transformation period, right? Just like the moon goes through it more often than the sun, right? The sun goes through it once a year, as according to Earth, right? Us here on Earth, and what we can see in calculation with that, right? So if you're going to celebrate winter solstice and not the resurrection, then consider, what are you celebrating? Do you only celebrate death? And are you truly in balance with yin and yang? Are you truly in balance with life and death, the cycle of life, right? Because the cycle of life is death, but after the death must come life. The rebirth period, the resurrection, okay? And as we know it, a lot of y'all, I don't mean to sound condescending, because I don't want to, but y'all talk about reincarnation, but not resurrection. Me, I resurrect. There's a difference between reincarnation and a resurrection, okay? And that's what happens with the sun. It's not reincarnating itself. It's resurrecting itself. It's coming back to life as the same source that it is. So someone said, as the new sun. And it can be seen as a new sun in a sense. I like to see that will be reincarnation, right? It's reincarnated into a new body, a new sun. But I don't see it that way. Me personally, I don't see it that way. I see it. So it has nothing to do with Jesus. No, you could, I mean, if you believe in Jesus, I'm all for everyone believing in what it is that they want to believe in. However, this was written way before Christianity, and this is actually something that is, in science. It's a science to it. It's nature. It's part of this matrix, right? So the physical sun, the light of this illusionary world, the illusionary sun, right, which brings energy, great rising pudding, literally stops. It goes down, it drops down, right? When you look at that, that's the eye, our energy, right, of seeing, right? And it goes to the underworld. And Set is like, ha, 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 ha. And then it's like 3 days later, hold up, bitch. You thought I was dead? Nah. Are ye not gods? Are ye not gods? Rah, rah, like a dungeon dragon. Amen, Ra. Amen, Ra. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And there's a little bit more. I'm giving the short version. Then you say, Amen, Ra. Okay? That is not a prayer that Jesus wrote. But that is a prayer that is used in occultism. That is a prayer that is used in Christianity and paganism. That is a prayer that energetically, actually, this is where people say, oh, it doesn't matter how you pray as long as you're talking. And then you hear people, and I definitely was one of those that says, well, actually, yeah, it does matter how you pray. I'm for both. I be praying how I be wanting to pray sometimes if I don't know the prayer. And I'm like, listen, get my intention and I flow my energy in a certain way. But when you know a certain prayer, that is a ritual that is being done energetically, okay, in and out of your body. And I don't even want to say out of your body because the illusion is that it's out of your body, but your spirit is your body is actually in your spirit. And so your spirit actually is ascended out of the body as well, right? It's expanded, it's so stretched out, you are bigger than just your body. And so these prayers actually create a force field and a vortex, and they just flow in a certain frequency. And so this is why occultists know. They study the Bibles, they study different books and translations, and they don't stop using their prayers. This is why in certain traditions, even African traditions such as Yoruba, with the Santeria, or the Congo with Palo, Hoodoo, Voodoo, they still use these prayers. And it's not to get caught up with just the slavery of it. It's not to get caught up. That's the illusion of it, okay? But it's because these words. Hathor was the goddess that pulled up for me yesterday, and I'm so very grateful for sound frequency and for light, right? Because when you truly allow yourself to listen to how words affect you, how you digest them, how they energetically consume you or work with you or go through you and flow, you are able to move with the energetics, right? This is why people want to get into their natal charts and why they want to know what the moon sign is, and full moon, new moons, and like I said, that's a whole other cycle. But the sun has a cycle. So if you are celebrating only one aspect of that cycle, and that is like the winter solstice, but not the resurrection, then ask yourself, what are you really celebrating? Only there has to be a balance. The solstice is the balance of the mother, and the resurrection is the balance of the father. This is why it is time for a great grand awakening. This is why it is time to bring that balance into unity. Not just to bring one over the other or the other over one. No, that needs to be left behind. This is not a new time to just... One moment. We're not going into a new time to just keep things imbalanced anymore. This is not about being imbalanced anymore. This is about getting shit together and being balanced. And that's part of my North Node, and I had to be I even had to G-check myself, right? Because I don't normally celebrate Christmas like that. And people would think, oh, but you was born, you're a Christmas baby, and this, that, and the third. And I've passed away and came back, and this is my Saturn return period, y'all. So this is the same way the energies is hitting the collective, right? It's hitting me times 10. And I have a lot of Saturn energy in my chart. So this is big bang. And then we have a lot of Saturn energy going on right now. Anyways, Doug, that's what Saturn return is. Saturn is when your Saturn return is when it's when you were born. And this is your Saturn return. And now I'm getting anyways, whole other topic, right? And so... because of this, I need to G-check it in myself and my ego and say, wait a minute, if I'm going to celebrate one, it's not about the religion. It's not about religion. It's about duality, polarities, balance, unicide with the heart and the mind, that being light as a feather, really honoring the mother. Hold on a second. Stella Blue, the mother, the father, and the child, right? And the light and the shadow. So I love that they said the new sun. So there was a new sun that was birthed after this, right? And that's the baby. That's the child, right? Through the resurrection, there was that reincarnated or a new embodiment of some sort, right, of life that came from him. And we could look at ourselves that way too. Because does the sun not continue to appear in the sky for those 3 days? Not as bright. Do gods really die? Does energy die? Just might be hurt a little bit and not moving. But I know it can get transformed. It can get transmuted. That's reincarnation. An aspect of it reincarnates. But if it's the same sun, that's the resurrection. If it's the same sun, that's a resurrection. Now, why do we have Easter's resurrection? What's going on there? The spring equinox, right? The equinox is equal, balanced day and night, mother and father with the same sun. That is the reincarnation period. That is why it's so bright and happy and childlike and because the Big Bang, they fucking like rabbits up there and they're giving birth to new baby. And boom, reincarnation. And now we have the summer periods, right? With the child sun. So that's my version of all of this, right? And I was just like, well, yeah, if I'm going to chill and be like, happy solstice, I'm going to be like, yeah, chill. And you know what? Because it's even when they say Xmas, right? Or Christmas is about the Christ consciousness, the cross, right? But we also, the anking is about bringing your energy back out of your body and anking it back into the heart and letting it flow through you, right? And that's bringing the masculine and feminine energies. That is the key of life, the balance of both. The cross was used way before Christianity too. Crossroads. It is a compass inside of you and each and every one of us. Do you not take things to the crossroads to make certain manifestations happen, or to get rid of certain things, or to maneuver a certain way? A lot of y'all in occultism want to honor, like Saint Lazarus or Papaligba or Elegua or Ganesha. And then y'all don't honor certain traditions or holidays or, real days that are with certain meanings, right? Now, it's about the intention and how you celebrate it, right? Because you can celebrate. This is why Christians, a lot of the times, people make fun of them and say, you don't even know what you're celebrating. But then you got all these new, stay woke, I'm woke, oh yeah, black power, okay, woohoo. I ain't trying to knock nobody, so I don't care if y'all try to off with my head, but I'm not trying to be condescending, but for real, like, all of this, yeah, knowledge is power, and then y'all don't even know. Either you're going to celebrate none of it, or you're going to celebrate all of it. Pick a side, make a choice, or pick and choose whatever it is that you want to celebrate, but know what you are celebrating and why you are celebrating and where your intentions are. That is the point of this video. So, I wanted to say grand rising to you all beautiful, beautiful people. I thank you all for tuning in. Let me see the last comment. Yes. You already know, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment below. Hello. I'm sorry if I missed a lot. I was just talking. But yeah, I got the message. I got the point. Peace, y'all.